I must have been the only person in the known racing universe who had no idea, no inkling, no clue, no knowledge of the fact that there was actually a planned movie for the franchise Gran Turismo. I had no idea whatsoever. The way in which I found this out was by way of a notification thanks to Google Now on my Android device. So I'm just sitting there minding my business on the toilet, doing my business in the morning, and then bing, a notification pops through. I'm thinking, what's this? Had a quick read through it, and as you can see from the actual title of this video and the thumbnail, it was actually a notification from GT Planet basically stating that it looks like, unfortunately, this movie is no longer going to come to fruition. I'm just going to basically read out what I've got in front of me. This is from Jordan Greer of GT Planet. So here we go. In the summer of 2013, a Hollywood news site revealed that Sony Pictures was starting production of a Gran Turismo feature film. It was a surprise move, but Sony was looking to compete with successful movie franchises like Universal Studios' Fast and the Furious and DreamWorks' Need for Speed. Less than a month after the news first leaked, Sony Computer Entertainment Europe CEO Jim Ryan officially announced the film during the company's Gamescom presentation. Ryan confirmed it would feature a GT Academy-inspired storyline of a gamer turned pro racing driver. After the announcement, we learned a high-profile production team was being assembled for the project. The lineup included the Oscar-nominated pair of Michael De Luca and Dana Brunetti from The Social Network, Moneyball and 50 Shades of Grey as producers, Joseph Kosinski from Tron Legacy and Oblivion as director, and brothers John and Eric Hobart from Battleship as screenwriters. Now, despite the early trickle of news and rumours from Hollywood, it's now been almost 2.5 years since we heard anything about the movie. When we finally had the chance to ask Kazunori Yamauchi about the film's status, it wasn't an encouraging response. He says, and I quote, "I have a feeling it's not going to go forward. You never know what's going on." Recent executive shake-ups at Sony and rumours the company might sell off its TV and film business only add to the uncertainty. Of course, the sale of the film division could affect other big-name Sony franchises. The big screen adaptation of The Last of Us has been at standstill since 2016, though things are looking slightly better for Uncharted. We'll keep an eye out for any news or rumours related to Gran Turismo. Until then, we'll have to be satisfied with Sony's 2013 documentary on the game franchise and its creator, Kaz, called Pushing the Virtual Divide. So obviously when I saw this, I was blown away because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's just something I had no inkling about, I had no clue about, I don't see it talked about often. What I decided to do was do a little bit of research and go backwards in time and just read some more information on this. So by way of the actual IGN website, I've actually found an article which talks about the plot. Now this article was dated August the 22nd, 2013, so around about the time upon which it was first brought to light that there was going to be a Gran Turismo movie. So credit goes to Chris Pereira for the following article. The first details regarding what the curious Gran Turismo movie will be about have surfaced. As it turns out, the film will tell the story not of cars or of racing, but of a person involved with those things. Kazunori Yamauchi, longtime designer of the Gran Turismo series, gave a brief sense of what kind of story the movie will tell at Gamescom. He revealed the film will cover the life of Lucas Ordonez, a Gran Turismo player turned professional race driver. Fans might recognise Ordonez's name from his appearance in the Gran Turismo 6 demo, where he was featured as a previous winner of the GT Academy. Yamauchi noted that offers for Gran Turismo movies had been coming in for the past 7 years, but it wasn't until this one from 50 Shades of Grey producers Mike De Luca and Dana Brunetti that one of them were given the green light. Yamauchi's vision for the movie is for it to show the transformation of a video game player into a racing champion. He has talked in the past about how it's been his dream for a Gran Turismo player to become a racing driver. No release date or other information on the movie has been released so far. Development on the movie was first announced last month and was promptly met with a great deal of skepticism. Gran Turismo as a series of driving simulator games has never been about story, characters or anything else that would make it seem like a natural fit for a movie adaptation. Now that we have some idea of what to expect, are you any more intrigued by the notion of a Gran Turismo movie? Now, as I mentioned, that article was put out on August the 22nd, 2013. So what's that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. about 4.5 years ago or so. But the way in which the article was ended, are you more intrigued by the notion of a Gran Turismo movie, is basically the question that I want to bring forward today, and a question that I want to ask you guys. Is it something that intrigues you? Is it something that interests you? I'm not gonna lie, when I first read the first article about the movie being cancelled without even knowing what the story or plot was about, my first thought in my head was, how does that even make sense? How does it make sense to take a concept which is not based on any storyline, a franchise which has never had a storyline, a franchise which is supposed to be a technical demonstration of excellence in the form of simulation-based racing with no emotional-based narrative whatsoever? How do you then add those elements to it without overdoing it, without making it look stupid, cheesy and corny? That was my first thought, because when I think about adaptations from racing games to movie franchises, your first thoughts are things like Need for Speed, action-based, high-paced, high-octane, explosions, dramas, murders, drifting, crazy, all that craziness there. And I guess maybe that was one-dimensional style of thinking. It was only when I started reading the IGN documentation I started to understand maybe they've got room for a story here, following the path of going from gamer to real-life driver. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us who, let's be honest, a lot of us who play Gran Turismo, a lot of us who play Assetto Corsa, a lot of us who play Forza, a lot of us who play most racing sims, we play it because A, we've got a passion for cars, or B, we actually just didn't get the chance to become what we really wanted to be, which was real racing drivers. And that's the closest that some of us, or most of us, are actually going to get to ever being one. So when I started looking at it this way, then I started to understand that, you know, there is some substance here, there is some substance to this potential type of story. Now obviously cold water can be just poured over all of this by the fact that it's looking like there's been no development whatsoever for a long period of time, and even Kaz himself, as I mentioned, has come out and said it's looking highly unlikely that the movie's going to happen anytime soon, if at all. But still, it still raises the questions. Number one, did you know that there was a Gran Turismo movie in development, or were you like me, living under a rock? And number two, do you think, given the premise of the potential storyline, that it's a perfect fit for that type of genre of racing game? As always, let me know in the comments. Now, those of you that are GT fans, don't worry, I've got your back, I've got your back. There are going to be some more Gran Turismo sport videos coming this week. I've actually got one planned in the next couple of days. It's already recorded, I'm just going through the editing process. If you're looking forward to The Crew 2, be sure to check out the videos that I've dropped over the weekend. I'll link them all in the description box. If it's your first time around here, I wish you a born welcome. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, be sure to swing the damn hell out of the notification bell, and I'll be sure to see you when the next video comes out. Take it easy, peace.